When Lismond, Ernon and Pepper arrived at the crypt, it was well past midnight. Before leaving them, Goryth had told them they were to find him down in the catacombs, assuring them that this time no undead would trouble them. To their dismay, he had also given instructions to carry the 2 chests down with them, a feat that would require at least 2 arduous trips. Having once again hidden the wagon and unloaded their supplies and the 2 containers, Lismond had called the attention of his 2 companions.
Friends, before we meet again with Goryth, I think we should have a few words.
I'm sorry, Lismond. I know I lost my temper back there.
No, it's not that,
replied the leader with a warm smile.
I just wanted to remind you, brothers, that no matter what happens in the following days, no matter what struggles we face or misfortune befalls us, we are still a team. We are still the crypt cleaners.
The thief stepped forwards and placed a hand on each of his companions' shoulders.
All we need to do is watch each other's backs and stay alive for 9 more nights, and our times of hardship will be over. We'll be rich and finally able to retire from this life of adventure.
If only it were that easy.
We can't control what the world decides to throw at us, Ernon. We can't control what Goryth will do, but we can be smart, act cautiously, play our cards right, and make sure our chances of success are as high as they can be at every step of the way.
Yes, boss, well said.
We lost John Retchins yesterday, the poor lad. Let's all stay alive for his sake and protect each other. He was a caring fellow, and that is what he would have expected of us. I don't know what Goryth has in store for us, but I'm confident we can make it through if we use our skills and talents well.
He turned now to the priest.
Remember when you scared that pack of ghouls away with only the light of your sunrod, Ernon? Imagine what you could do with this new one. We will need your learned wisdom and your rational deductions in the challenges that face us,
added Lismond with a smile. The priest's posture improved a little, as if he had recovered some of his lost pride. His eyes dropped to the ground for a moment, then returned to look at Lismond, his expression steeled. He nodded.
And a witchblade is quite the intimidating weapon, isn't it?
Continued the leader, stepping back to show off the spectacular blade now hanging from his belt.
I think the crypt cleaners may have just been promoted to something better.
And don't forget my trinket, boss,
added Pepper, holding up the night glass which now hung around his neck by means of a thin cord the thief had added. The sight of Pepper's enthusiasm brought a smile to Lismond's face.
And your incredible trinket, Pepper.
The leader thought then for a moment, and with a now more serious face, asked the sun priest,
Ernon, you mentioned to Pepper that you were afraid to break this moon covenant we made. What do you think will happen if we break it?
I don't know. I only know of the sun oath, but this moon ritual definitely shared some elements in its execution. All I can tell you is that if I were to break my oath to the sun, I would likely turn into a statue of coal.
I see. Well, we'll have to make sure we don't break our vows then. That goes especially for you, Pepper. Heard that?
Yes, boss. No breaking vows. Understood.
Very well then. Crypt cleaners, let's give John Retchins a performance that he would be proud of. Help me carry these things downstairs.
The interiors of the crypt were as dark and gloomy as the last time they had been there. The undead, however, were nowhere to be seen, probably having crawled back into their niches and hiding places. The 3 thieves, encumbered by the heavy chest, couldn't help glancing from corner to corner. At any moment they expected to hear moans and the creaking of old limbs, but none came. They found Goryth in a hidden chamber, through a doorway that was nothing but solid stone when last they visited. He was staring at a circular glyph-covered arch that was carved into the wall. It looked like something of a gate, but was just a carving, and clearly led to nowhere. The wizard turned to observe the companions as they struggled into the room with the heavy metal chest. When Lismond looked up to him, the wizard nodded slightly in acknowledgement. Then once the thieves had lowered the chest to the floor, he moved directly to it without saying a single word. The thieves removed the food bags from their shoulders and watched Goryth as he extracted a collection of translucent white stones from the box, which he then proceeded to slot into a series of sockets that adorned the circular gate. Noticing the three were still there, watching him, Goryth stopped what he was doing and turned to them.
What are you waiting for? Bring the wooden chest. Oh, good son, will this night never end?
Complained a red-faced Ernon as he helped haul the impossibly heavy wooden chest down the stairs.
I think I now understand how our ancestors might have felt, slaving their lives away at the hands of cruel blue-bloods. Run after this fairy, dig this hole, carry this chest. Oh, and give me all your silver. Intolerable.
We're almost there, Ernon. Just a bit more.
I really wonder what's inside this chest. It's even heavier than the other one.
It's probably full of stones. Wouldn't be surprised if the wizard was just messing with us.
Wouldn't surprise me either. A wizard should not be without his private stone collection.
Ernon gave out a laugh at that, tickled by Pepper's uncharacteristic dig at the wizard. Their complaints wisely silenced before they reached the hidden chamber, the thieves finally hauled the heavy container into the room, draining the last of their strengths. Goryth was waiting for them. The stones he previously had slotted into the gate were now glowing with an eerie white light.
You have done well,
he said to the exhausted companions.
This you see behind me is a moon gate. Through it we will travel a great distance in but a blink of the eye. We shall be visiting an old friend of mine and staying at his fortress for the night.
Oh my lord, so kind of you. Finally some rest. We are exhausted indeed. My arms feel like bread pudding.
Let out Pepper in relief, still catching his breath.
Oh yes, some rest would certainly be welcomed. I feel like I'm dying. Such excess of exercise can't be good for the body, nor the soul. We shall rest soon, yes, but first I must give you your orders for the morrow, as I doubt I will later have the privacy to do it so,
said the wizard, and waited until he had the attention of the companions.
My friend is an artist. Once you are fully rested, he will want to show you his work. I will distract him, and you will use the opportunity to explore his home and steal something for me. This task, I believe, is more than fitting for your band of thieves, Lismond.
We are not technically thieves, my lord. We rob crypts, yes, but we don't attack or steal from the living.
Unless it's...
Pepper!
Sorry, boss.
Goryth, showing a slightly malicious smile, spoke.
Worry not. You will be stealing from the dead. My friend is not among the living.
He is not.
I suppose you may have perhaps heard of Yosumold? Oh, holy sun!
Shrieked Ernon.
What is it, Ernon?
Asked Lismond, worried.
Yosumold. That's the Lich of Black Mountain.
Oh, I have heard of him, yes,
replied the leader, showing signs of worry in his face.
Well, I haven't. Care to explain, someone?
He is a good friend of mine, as I have said,
interrupted Goryth, completing the phrase.
An ancient artist with whom I have shared many experiences. He will welcome us in his fortress and will not harm you for as long as you serve me. Unless he catches you stealing from him, of course.
So, we are stealing from a lich. That sounds like a dangerous business. Are you sure we are up to the task, my lord?
I have confidence in my ability to distract him, and I know that you will try your best, for your lives will depend on it.
Suddenly, and without warning, an object appeared floating in front of them, having apparently materialised out of thin air. The crypt cleaners, concentrating on Goryth, jumped in surprise and immediately stepped back when the object appeared between them. It looked like a small silver box containing a stone not unlike the ones they had seen the wizard slot into the gate.
This is what I want you to steal. The moment the box is in your possession, I want you to put it inside this purse I give you. Yosamold will not be able to see it if you do so,
said Goryth, extending the said purse to Lismond. The thief leader accepted it. It was a small simple bag of black silk with a silvery cord to tie it shut.
Very well. We'll place the box in here when we find it. Are there any clues on where it could be located?
Asked Lismond, resigned to the task.
The box lies hidden in one of his sensoriums, specifically in the one that lies behind a gate with a tree carved on its surface. Inside you will find a phantasm of a blue-blood woman. I suspect the box is within her.
Within her?
Asked Ernon, clearly worried. The Sun Priest was horrified at where this was going, and Lismond was not feeling good about it either. Pepper, however, had apparently stopped following the conversation the moment the floating box had appeared. After examining it for a while, and just as Goryth had revealed the location of the object, the bald thief had given in to temptation and attempted to touch it. To his astonishment, his hand had gone completely through it, as if the object weren't really there. Surprised at his findings, he had quickly reached for his newly acquired night glass and swiftly taken it to his right eye. As he looked, he noticed that if he closed his left eye and looked through the lens, the object would simply not be there. It was an illusion. Seeing the worried look in the faces of Lismond and Ernon, Goryth repeated,
The woman is a phantasm, an illusory automaton, not a being of flesh and blood. See that illusion your bald friend is playing with? It is no more than that.
And having said that, just as it had initially appeared, the illusion of the floating box vanished from existence. Pepper stood perplexed, staring at an empty spot in the air, opening and closing his left eye in confusion. Both the priest and the thief leader let out a sigh of relief.
How much time do we have to do this job?
You will have until dusk. Once moonlight reaches Yosamold, his awareness will expand, and your attempts at stealing the prize will no longer have any chances of succeeding. Once Yosamold catches wind of your actions, he will kill you.
Perhaps we should take a day to do some reconnaissance work. It should improve our chances,
commented Lismond, not liking what he was hearing.
There is no time for that. Your orders are to steal the box before the next dusk.
What will become of us if we fail to carry out your orders?
Asked Ernon.
You will turn into stone the next time moonlight touches your skin.
Oh, good son, it is as I feared. We are doomed,
mumbled Ernon, with a desperate look on his face. Lismond turned to the priest and placed a hand on his shoulder, attempting to calm him.
One step at a time, Ernon. We can do it.
Goryth turned now, his back to them, and as he did so the stones in the carved sockets of the arch started to glow. No longer concerned with the presence of the crypt cleaners, he raised his right hand to the air and produced a small silver sceptre in his left, a rod not dissimilar to Ernon's. The glowing stones then started shining with greater intensity, and the three thieves started feeling something strange in their bodies, a sensation that reminded them of what they had felt at the end of the Covenant earlier that night. Then, something happened. The area of stone inside the carved circular arch started receding into the wall. The effect was strange. It was not as if the stone of the wall was moving inwards, but as if the space inside the gate itself was stretching. The three companions stared in awe as this unfolded, the space inside moving away from them at higher and higher speeds, until they could no longer see the other side of the wall. Then suddenly, they saw the space contract again, the area of stone no longer there, and the archway now leading into a different room. The blue blood lowered his arms, and slowly turned back towards the crypt cleaners. He spoke.
Now follow me. Bring the wooden chest. The metal one can stay behind. And do not forget our food supplies. We will not be coming back.